so much on the film from this past game that we're like, we have to get corrected and get better at that. I think that speaks for itself. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we come here to have high expectations, right? You come here to play in big games. You come here to play in front of that crowd, you know. So you get all the reasons why you come here. So, you know, we expect to be ranked, but whatever it is, 23rd, 24th, that's not where we want to end up. So, you know, go 1-0 each week and see what happens.
Just means we're not going to slow down. Like, we're not going to slow down and call a game not passively, but a little less aggressive, because Dylan's a freshman. Dylan works his butt off, and you know he can handle a lot of stuff. The other guys around him need to pick it up.
I told the offense a lot of them have to pick their intensity up to his level, not the other way around. He's trying to throw the ball to guys that are supposed to be in certain places and they're not there. He's at a whole other level, and those other guys better pick it up. That's said respectfully and with love. And I only say that because you guys sometimes ask me, like, hey, did you not throw it as much in the second half because of him? No, because of everyone else.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of keep leveling up, and as a quarterback, and we understand in our room that that's a standard, and you know, I think that the standard should be acknowledged, but I don't think it should be celebrated.
The execution, like Tommy Hill had a great pick six, but if you watch the tape, you know, I think it's Travis. Travis Hunter runs like a spot route, and Bullock takes it away, and he tries to go inside, and Bullock slides inside. Bullock played an amazing game. And so then the quarterback goes out late to Tommy, and Tommy picks it. And so the guys on defense, I think, really understand, I can't do what I do unless you do what you do.
Oh, it's pretty electric. You know, that was. I mean, this place is already special, and just there was a different energy there. I mean, with the 94 squad, I mean, the students were awesome. Looking back at the film, there's times where their offensive line, they were totally discombobulated. You can see. So I truly believe that just the atmosphere of the crowd had a huge effect on those guys.
I hate it. I mean, I hate it. If it's up to me, we play at 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, kegs and eggs and football. Let's go.
I've been staring off over here. All right, welcome back to the show. We are pleased to be joined by former Husker assistant coach and local legend Bill Busch. Coach, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. It's so kind of you guys to have me on. Like I said, always enjoy watching this show every single week, and obviously having a history, obviously with you, Michael, and then these two great players being around to be on the staff to coach both of them, didn't coach them directly, but be on the staff with them is really, really cool. So thank you, State of Nebraska. Very cool to have me on.
Coach, I know both these gentlemen had a good time on Saturday, calling the game and doing other things during the game. What about you? Did you have a good time on Saturday?
Yes, it was. The energy and electricity was great. I'm not going to lie to you that I wasn't there. I've been to one game in my since I started coaching Division I football, 34 years of. I've been to one in the stands.
Wow.
And it really wasn't that great of an experience like that. So I kind of stay out of that. So I'm not anti-Nebraska. I watched it in my garage. That's where it was at. But it was fun to listen to the volume on the garage. You could tell what was going on, the difference. And we had this conversation a lot on the radio too. That is such an advantage. The volume is such an advantage for pass rushers, as Jay would talk about. When they're not sure when that ball's being snapped, you knew that was going to be a big factor, and the defense can really affect it. Because if you go back in the day, way back when, almost just a little bit pre-Jay also, there was times when the quarterback used to walk back
They called
and say,
a penalty.
Hey, it's too loud. And they would go like this.
Yep.
There's none of that anymore. And so the home crowd advantage and the fandom of Nebraska is a huge, huge, huge factor.
No doubt.
You've been in some electric environments as a coach. Yeah, speak a little bit. Let the audience know what it's like to manage your emotions, because I think sometimes people think, oh, it's electric and you get geared up, but sometimes managing those endorphins and kind of how you're like super fatigued after and just pacing yourself with the environment is difficult.
It really is. As a coach, you have to do it also. And, the big thing is always to keep the game the same. Make sure that your players don't get out early and don't do any extra warm-ups, because there's so much energy. You can't spend any energy except your warm-up from UTEP should be identical to Colorado. Mm-hmm. So all those things are so important. Then as a coach, too, not to do things emotionally, blitz emotionally, make a call emotionally for what's going on. So you want to kind of have yourself in this state of affairs in your mind. But it's also exciting. There's no doubt about it. It's like, I mean, you only get 12 guaranteed. So when you play in some of these atmospheres, it's really, really good. And that was a big time atmosphere, not one that was a big time atmosphere for the Midwest or for the Big Ten. That was a national big time. I've been in all those venues in the SEC, and that one Saturday night was the same as what it is.
Similar as you've been in Nebraska history, the history with Colorado. Obviously, you've coached in this game many times back in the Big 12 when we were there. Same emotions getting ready for this game as well, though, because this game used to be on a Friday night or a Friday after Thanksgiving, but the emotions going into this game, because former Big 8 rivals, right? Big 12 North, approaching it the same way has to be kind of the same, like you talked
exactly
about.
Exactly the same.
Right?
You just do detail practice the same. Nothing's different. There's not a conversation. It's all about how do we stay as focused with what we have to say, and it's never like we're just going to get we're going to be higher on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're going to be higher, then we get to Saturday we're going to explode. Yeah, you'll be able to take off when the ball's snapped on Saturday, when the foot hits the ball, but prior to that it's just nothing about your normal preparation. It's hard, and don't think that for a second you don't know the difference of a game to be able to play it. There is. I've been on some staffs where it's very clear that it is different. Urban Meyer at Ohio State and at Utah, BYU game was different. The Michigan game was different. He said it out loud. And so it was a different type of thing. But you want to keep things in check. But it was, like I said, the players, in my mind, I didn't see any of it. I saw those guys laser focused. And so that goes back to Coach Rule and the staff having them ready to go.
Yeah. When you see a talent like Dylan Raiola, does it change the way you do the other facets of your game, knowing what you potentially have in a quarterback like that?
Everything you do on defense, you're the coordinator, you're seeing what he's doing. And one of the things that stood out to me right away that would have concerned me instantly was his scramble, I think the first or second series for about a 15-yard gain. Because right away it's like, okay, he obviously has the ability to scramble, doesn't have a lot of those things on film. But once you saw that, it's like now there's escapability along with everything else. That's a high concern for a defensive coordinator when you're making your calls with what you're going to do and have things to be able to change the picture in the back end of what's going on to show them a little different look in coverage-wise. But you're not going to have a lot of crazy looks against Nebraska because they can run the football, and they've got old guys up front, and I use the term mass kicks ass. So when they got those guys up front, they can do that. You're not sitting back in a lot of cover too high because of that. So that changes the different looks you can give him.
Getting that T-shirt made.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, preparing for this offense because we didn't know what it was quite going to look like for Raiola as being a true freshman, but very balanced so far. Nebraska's throwing almost 240, averaging 240 through 2 games, 185 yards on the ground. We're trying to prepare for this type of offense from the defensive mentality. Talk us through that just with the young quarterback, but knowing the weapons he has around him, Dylan as well.
Multiple groupings are what cause you problems, which means you see the tight end of Fedoni, you see the tight ends break the formation, then they're back in the formation, and we have different ways, and then in their run game they have gap schemes, and then they have zone schemes, and they have different schemes that causes you problems. And so anytime when there's multiple tight ends can get back into the formation and you can pull the Y or the U to get involved in the run fits, it's very, very difficult. It's one of the things that we've talked about on Colorado is what's not difficult is they're generally in a 10 picture, which means everyone's detached and they don't pull anybody. And so the run game and the fits are very easy.
Yeah, right.
When there's pullers and gap schemes and you ran all the counters at Nebraska, you ran all these things, and also there's no option at Colorado. So when there's no option football also, you're prepared for the old school Nebraska of all these gap schemes and option football. It was a wow all the time. And so those things would stand out to you.
Yeah, they're pretty plain Jane. Mitch from Facebook says, your thoughts on the Big 12 officials and the job they did?
I said, I think I can say it on air, right?
Sure.
It wasn't very good.
Nobody's going to find you.
I'm in a group text with my good friends, Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple, and I said, I'm not sure if these guys will work again. Yeah. But I would say this, there was some both ways.
Yes, there was.
It wasn't 100% just, but if I'm a Nebraska fan, there's plays I saw that were very clear that were disturbing. There were some that went back the other way, too. So when the game was kind of over or it was going on, I didn't think that it was such an effect on the game with what was happening. But there was some calls that were very unusual on some holdings and some holds that were missed.
Bill,